Chris sat in his room, overwhelmed with a sense of melancholy. Memories flooded his mind, particularly those of his days as a trainee knight alongside Jonathan. Back then, he had worked hard to earn the title of a 2-star knight. However, after a conversation with Roman, uncertainty clouded Chris's thoughts, leaving him grappling with the question of what to do next. In a later meeting with Jonathan at the office, Chris decided to open up about his dilemma. He expressed his intention to resign from the knighthood and join Roman on the battlefield, driven by a desire to grow stronger. Jonathan was taken aback by this revelation, sensing that there was more to Chris's decision than met the eye. Chris confirmed that something had indeed happened, prompting Jonathan to carefully consider the gravity of Chris's choice. Acknowledging the weight behind Chris's decision, Jonathan conveyed his understanding. He informed Chris that henceforth he would no longer be affiliated with the Knights of Dimitry. Despite the separation, Jonathan expressed his hope that Chris would protect young Master Roman in his pursuit of strength. Grateful for everything, Chris thanked Jonathan, who reflected on the transformation of the once grieving child he had found on the battlefield. Jonathan, recognizing the evolution in Chris, stood up and shared his conviction that even Chris choosing to follow young Master Roman signified Roman's growth. He assured Chris that Roman was no longer the foolhardy noble Jonathan had once known. Urging Chris into another room, Jonathan emphasized the necessity for Chris to prepare himself for the challenges ahead. To survive on the battlefield, Jonathan believed Chris needed a unique skill, a secret weapon he could call his own. Chris gets happy hearing this. The news of Roman's prowess spread beyond the confines of their meeting. People in the market discussed how Roman, once considered a mediocre noble, had single-handedly defeated the formidable Blood Fang. Kevin, overhearing this, couldn't believe that Roman had accomplished such a feat. He wondered if Roman had done it to fulfill his promise to Kevin, though skepticism lingered. Despite the revelation, Kevin's boss snapped him back to reality, reminding him to focus on his work. In the face of uncertainty and change, Kevin clutched the box tightly, the weight of it mirroring the burning determination in his eyes. In that quiet moment, he found himself contemplating a profound desire, the aspiration to embody the strength and resilience he saw in young Master Roman, to become a force formidable enough to shield those around him, to be a protector in a world still haunted by threats like the ominous Blood Fang. For Kevin, the path forward demanded strength, a strength he believed he lacked but desperately needed to acquire to safeguard his family from the unpredictable dangers of their existence. As he ambled along, absorbed in his thoughts, Kevin's eyes widened with shock. There, standing before him, was young Master Roman. The unexpected encounter left Kevin bewildered, his mind struggling to comprehend why Roman would be in this place at this time. A sense of awe washed over Kevin, and without a second thought, he found himself instinctively bowing before the young master. Gratitude poured from Kevin's words as he thanked Roman for the intervention that had allowed his family to persevere through challenging times. Roman, always composed, responded with a calm reassurance. He encouraged Kevin not to dwell on the past and inquired about Kevin's well-being. Kevin, in turn, shared the positive changes that had unfolded in his life after the confrontation with the Blood Fang. The threats had ceased, and he had found gainful employment through the assistance of Marhance. Kevin was grateful for the turn of events, but struggled to find words adequate enough to express his profound gratitude to young Master Roman. In response, Roman, with a calm and collected demeanor, extended an unexpected offer. If Kevin were to accept, Roman pledged not only to alleviate the financial burdens that weighed heavily on Kevin's family, but also to elevate their standard of living to one of comfort and abundance. He promised Kevin a life far removed from the toil of his current employment, where leisure time would be marked by luxury rather than the grind of daily work. Roman assured Kevin that he was fully committed to making this transformation a reality, provided Kevin reciprocated with a pledge of unwavering loyalty. Kevin found himself grappling with the enormity of Roman's proposition. A life beyond his wildest dreams hung tantalizingly before him, contingent upon his allegiance to young Master Roman. Roman painted a vivid picture of a future where Kevin's family need not worry about financial struggles, where their days would be marked by security and opulence. The allure of such a life was undeniable, and yet the commitment required gave Kevin pause. In a moment of solemn determination, Kevin lowered his head to the floor, a symbolic act of acceptance that signaled his commitment to Roman's terms. He pledged not only his service but his very life to young Master Roman. In his earnest devotion, Kevin swore to follow any command issued by Roman, even if it meant facing death. The only condition, Roman's solemn promise to safeguard Kevin's family, an assurance that Kevin's fate was now irrevocably intertwined with Roman's will. Observing this display of unwavering loyalty, Roman couldn't help but smile. Kevin's commitment, sealed with his own blood, evoked memories of a wild stallion from Roman's past, a creature untamed, relentless, and fiercely loyal. The image also conjured thoughts of the blood demon, a formidable warrior whose fervor mirrored Kevin's own. Roman sensed that in Kevin he had found a kindred spirit, someone who, like the crazed stallion and the blood demon, would prove to be an invaluable asset in the times to come. With a satisfied smile, Roman formally declared that, from that moment onward, Kevin's life belonged to him. The pact was sealed, and Roman anticipated that Kevin's loyalty would be an investment well worth the effort. The narrative pivots to the resplendent palace where Roman, the master of this regal domain, confides in Hans, his venerable butler. Roman divulges the story of Kevin, the novice in their midst, entrusting Hans with the pivotal role of aiding Kevin in navigating the opulent yet unfamiliar intricacies of life within the palace walls. In a gesture of benevolence, Roman assures Kevin of his imminent return, leaving the newcomer to express profound gratitude for the unforeseen turn of events. Before Roman departs, he imparts a directive to Kevin, guiding him to the library should he require any assistance. Kevin, grappling with the magnitude of the moment, sincerely thanks Roman for his unparalleled generosity. Roman proceeds to the sanctuary of knowledge that is the library, leading Kevin under the watchful guidance of Hans, the stalwart custodian of the estate. Within the hallowed halls of the library, Roman delves into the profound teachings of a tome delineating the path of an aura knight. The text unfurls the intricate stages of ascending within the ranks of this prestigious order, with the embodiment of aura serving as the hallmark of progression. The mere glimmer of aura designates one as a modest 1-star aura knight. Advancement to the esteemed 2-star rank requires the demonstration of the ability to cut through steel using the ethereal force of aura. The intensity and strength of this manifested aura become the benchmarks that determine an individual's rank. Ascending to the revered status of a 3-star aura knight places one beyond the comprehension of ordinary mortals, warranting exclusive treatment within the kingdom's hierarchy. As Roman immerses himself in the illuminating pages of the book, the narrative unfolds the elusive lore of the 6-star knights. Whispers of their existence, said to dwell within the mythical Salamander continent, echo through the ages. Astonishingly, tales of individuals attaining the fabled 7th-star rank remain shrouded in mystery. Even among the illustrious top 10 ranked knights, few have managed to ascend to the exalted 6th star. In Roman's discerning eyes, the prowess displayed by a 2-star knight, exemplified by the formidable Chris, and even the esteemed Jonathan, a 3-star knight, appears diminutive compared to the awe-inspiring might of those at the 6th star. Roman contemplates the ethereal flames these elite knights conjure from their blades, spanning tens of meters with impacts that transcend the realm of mortal understanding. The narrative introduces the enigmatic 12 blades of the continent, a pantheon of individuals who have achieved the mythical 6-star rank. Irrespective of race or nationality, these 12 knights are revered as if they were royalty. Armed with the information gleaned, Roman acknowledges the formidable nature of these knights, astutely recognizing that their ascent to such extraordinary heights with what he deems as inefficient usage of ki signifies an innate and unparalleled talent. Roman's ruminations gracefully say into contemplation of magicians, particularly those who ascend to the 7th circle rank and are honored with the prestigious title of Archmage. These enigmatic beings, perceived as a fusion of mortal and divine, embody a walking cataclysm, their power waiting to be unleashed upon the world. These archmages are more dangerous than the 6-star aura knights. Roman thinks that magic abilities don't exist within Murim, and now Roman thinks he has a pretty good idea of what to do. Roman thinks he won't know when he will be facing these beings, and while it will be rare that old man Dimitry will do something risky, the fact that he can't predict what might happen is what makes this dangerous for Roman. As someone inherently restless, never destined to remain confined like others, Roman contemplates the need to amass experiences, to carve out a life that satisfies his intrinsic desires, even if it involves navigating the treacherous waters of magic. Excitement courses through Roman as he envisions the adventures that await him in this uncharted territory. The scene shifts to a room, a hallowed space where Roman and Hans make their entrance. Hans, the ever-efficient butler, unveils the room's history as a workshop once utilized by the old baron. Hans, meticulous as always, took measures to ensure strict prohibition against outsiders, going to the extent of preventing the passage of air. Roman, discerning the potential of this secluded space, deems it the ideal locale for honing his newfound magical prowess. Expressing his intent to dedicate the upcoming week to rigorous magical training, Roman assures Hans that he won't require sustenance during this period. A steely gaze accompanies Roman's request for absolute privacy. He instructs Hans to permit no one to enter, emphasizing that interruptions are only permissible if Roman's people face imminent danger. Hans, understanding the gravity of the directive, nods affirmatively, leaves the room, and firmly seals the door behind him, leaving Roman in his mystical sanctuary. Within the confines of this room, Roman surveys the straw scattered on the floor, a well-intentioned but disruptive addition by Hans. Appreciating the gesture, Roman recognizes that it disrupts the flow of ki, the life force energy. Setting the straw aside, Roman settles onto the floor, assuming a meditative posture. The intention is to commence the journey towards mastering the techniques of the Heavenly Demon Magician, a path fraught with challenges and revelations. Roman initiates the creation of an aura around him, a critical step to expel impurities from his body and attune himself to the magical energies that lie dormant within. However, the process takes an unexpected turn, marked by the emergence of blood from Roman's face. The mana, the essence of magical power coursing through his body, encounters impediments, revealing an unusual concentration of impurities. Roman, anticipating this challenge, remains unfazed, understanding that it's a necessary phase to gather the minimum mana required to progress to the next stage. The room becomes a crucible of determination as Roman grapples with the consequences of his magical pursuit. The act of bleeding becomes symbolic, a testament to the purification process underway. Roman's resilience shines through as he navigates the turbulent currents of mana, resolving to reclaim his original strength by gathering the essential energies required to traverse the mystical path before him. The stage is set for Roman's odyssey into the mystical unknown as he seeks to harness the powers that lie dormant within him. The current stage of his journey, a relentless pursuit to reclaim the strength of the Heavenly Demon, marks only the inception of what lies ahead. Fast forward a week, and the scene unfolds in Dimitry's palace. Viscount Lawrence, accompanied by his daughter Flora, has arrived to meet Roman. Seeking information on Roman's whereabouts, the servant informs them that he is currently occupied with pressing matters. Despite the potential discomfort stemming from their unannounced visit, they are directed to the living room to await Roman. As they settle in, Viscount Lawrence, perceptive of the underlying tensions, reflects on the palpable reluctance emanating from the Dimitry household. Anticipating a meeting laden with tension, Viscount Lawrence takes a moment to caution Flora. He emphasizes the need for circumspection and restraint in her words and actions, especially in light of her recent decision to disengage from Roman. Flora, acknowledging the gravity of the situation, affirms her understanding of her father's counsel. The narrative then shifts to the Lawrence palace, where Flora had earlier divulged her decision to sever ties with Roman. Viscount Lawrence, upon hearing this revelation, is taken aback. He expresses disbelief in his daughter's seemingly impulsive action, questioning her about her understanding of the intricate dynamics within their territory. Flora, initially resolute, asserts the Lawrence family's strength and resilience, implying that they can weather any storm without the Dimitry alliance. However, Viscount Lawrence provides a stark reality check. He lays bare the complex web of political intrigue surrounding their territory. The Baek family, having borrowed extensively from the gold bank, now stands as a formidable adversary. In response, Viscount Lawrence strategically aligned with the Dimitry family, recognizing them as the only ones capable of fending off the impending threat from Baek. Flora's abrupt disengagement jeopardizes this crucial alliance. The conflict, Viscount Lawrence elucidates, has transcended familial disputes. Political machinations involving dubious documents and orders, coupled with support for the Baek family, paint a grim picture. The central government's involvement signals a conspiracy that extends far beyond the scale of a mere familial feud. Viscount Lawrence impresses upon Flora the gravity of their situation, extending to the potential loss of land, honor, and even Flora herself, the cherished flower of Lawrence. Flora, confronted with the harsh realities, is left in a state of shock. Returning to the present, Flora reflects on her willful ignorance and acknowledges that her selfish motivations led her to ignore the dire circumstances facing their territory. She recognizes the urgency to cast aside the pride associated with being the flower of Lawrence and confront the reality that persists outside the bubble of her own desires. The narrative then shifts back to the Baron's location, where Roman, the central figure in this intricate drama, is engrossed in rigorous training. The butler, a figure of concern and responsibility, grapples with the dilemma of whether to approach Roman. Viscount Lawrence and Lady Flora have been waiting since morning, and the day has now transitioned into evening. The butler contemplates breaking Roman's solitude, but a recollection of Roman's explicit instruction not to disturb him restrains any impulsive action. As Hans the butler navigates this internal struggle, the door unexpectedly swings open, revealing the figure of the young master Roman. Hans, startled yet relieved, stands witness to Roman's emergence from his seclusion. Returning to the living room, Baron Lawrence and his daughter Flora find themselves in a state of heightened anticipation as they await Roman's arrival. The room, thick with tension, bears witness to the unfolding drama that has roots in Flora's earlier misstep. Baron Lawrence, contemplating the chain of events set into motion by his daughter's mistake, recognizes the imperative of ensuring the survival of the Lawrence family. In his eyes, the marriage between Roman and Flora stands as a strategic move to secure their position. However, a disquieting feeling gnaws at him, and unable to contain his frustration, he abruptly rises from his seat. Voicing his dissatisfaction, he asserts that he will personally seek out Baron Dimitry, determined to address the perceived injustice. Stepping into Baron Dimitry's office with an air of palpable anger, Baron Lawrence doesn't mince words. He questions the prolonged delay and expresses disbelief at what he perceives as Dimitry's cruelty. Baron Dimitry, maintaining a composed demeanor, acknowledges the sentiments but probes whether an appointment had been scheduled for the meeting. Flora's father conveys that although their visit was unannounced, they had communicated their intention to meet Dimitry a week ago. He further explains that the impetus behind this unexpected visit is Roman's refusal to respond to their requests and the ensuing lack of communication. In response, Baron Dimitry, his expression serious and composed, queries whether Lawrence's grievance is solely about the wait and if he has come solely to express discontent over the delay. However, before Baron Lawrence can respond, Dimitry discloses a crucial piece of information that casts a new light on the situation. On the day Flora Lawrence visited the Dimitry family, Roman had already informed his father about his intention to break off the arranged marriage. While Baron Dimitry scolded Roman for his decision, he recognized the underlying dynamics. He reveals that it was apparent, even to a 3-year-old, that Flora was the reason behind Roman's desire to terminate the arranged marriage. This revelation adds a layer of complexity to the situation. Acknowledging the sensitive nature of the circumstance, Baron Dimitry chose not to question Roman further. Having experienced the unwanted imposition of an arranged marriage himself, Dimitry understood the complexities involved. To him, it seemed ironic that the Lawrences, who had initiated the arranged marriage, were now oblivious to their own role in the unfolding drama. Despite Dimitry's reluctance to meet in the first place, the Lawrences, seemingly unaware of their own missteps, came to him with complaints. Faced with this unexpected disclosure, Baron Lawrence finds himself without a retort. Baron Dimitry underscores the Lawrence family's oversight in their own actions, emphasizing that his anger over a short wait pales in comparison to the Lawrences' ignorance of their own mistakes. Then Baron Dimitry tells them that about a month ago they received contact from the Barco family, and if they decided to move forward with an arranged marriage with the Barco family instead of the Lawrence family, and even the Barco family would give Dimitry a chance to make connections with the central government and give them part of the Lawrence territory. Even then, Baron Dimitry still decided to decline the Barco family offer and then asked the Viscount Dimitrans, does he know the reason why he decided to do that? Viscount Lawrence asked Baron Dimitry why he declined the offer, as it would have been more advantageous for them to take Barco's offer from their perspective. In response, Baron Dimitry, maintaining a straightforward demeanor, explained that the reason was simple. Despite the potential benefits of aligning with the Barco family, Dimitry, with an already established source of power, opted for the option that aligned with his personal preferences. Dimitry disclosed a crucial factor that influenced his decision: the admiration of the eldest son of the Dimitry family for the flower of Lawrence. It was this sentiment that propelled Dimitry into a conflict with the Barco family, a decision he now viewed as a mistake. Viscount Lawrence, reflecting on the situation, realized the gravity of his own actions driven by anger. Recognizing the magnitude of his mistake, he grappled with the consequences and contemplated the next steps. Baron Dimitry, unapologetically, pointed out the apparent mismatch between the flower of Lawrence and the fool of the Dimitry. Despite this, he emphasized that the Lawrence family should have remembered the essence of the Dimitry name. According to Dimitry, once the Dimitry family's name was associated with Roman, his value underwent a significant transformation. Furthermore, Dimitry questioned the desperation behind the push for this marriage, subtly shifting the perspective to highlight the Lawrence family's eagerness. In response to Dimitri's pointed queries, Flora Lawrence found her thoughts drifting back to her days at the academy. In that environment where children from royal families congregated to build knowledge and relationships, she recalled a peculiar figure, a child from the Joel family. The Joel family, a small and seemingly inconspicuous entity, existed more in name than in substance. Flora vividly remembered an incident when Joel, making a minor mistake, became the subject of an orchestrated punishment committee. While other children faced negligible consequences for their errors, Joel's situation escalated. Flora witnessed teachers scolding Joel, and a man, presumably his father, appeared to apologize on his behalf. The father pleaded for forgiveness and vowed to personally instruct his son. Flora, observing from the sidelines, couldn't shake the feeling of sadness at the unfolding scene. Returning to the present, Flora found a wry sense of amusement in her reflection on those bygone days. The contrast between the gravity of the present situation and the seemingly trivial incidents from her past struck her as ironic. Observing the head of the Lawrence family apologizing to the Dimitrys on her behalf, Flora reflects on a past memory involving Joel, a member of a seemingly weak family who faced apologies and repercussions. This memory prompts Flora to draw parallels between Joel's perceived weakness then and the Lawrence family's current situation. In her perspective, this world adheres to a principle where the weak bow down to the strong. As the Lawrences offer apologies, Flora contemplates the dynamics at play, recognizing the inevitability of submission in a world driven by strength. The door opens, revealing Roman, who has undergone a striking transformation with newly dyed purple hair, exuding a cool aura. The surprise is palpable among those present in the room. Roman approaches his father, and an inquiry follows about his completion of training. Roman confirms the completion but defers the discussion to a later time. However, his father redirects attention to the Lawrence family's visit regarding the arranged marriage matter, prompting raised eyebrows from Roman. Roman's father conveys a decision to follow Roman's lead as the head of Dimitry and his father. Roman acknowledges the weight of this decision, understanding the potential consequences of uniting the two families. The conversation turns to Roman's initial decision to proceed with the marriage, prompting an inquiry about his motivations. Roman explains that initially he believed there was value in that decision. However, his perspective shifted upon meeting Flora on the first day. Learning about her reservations regarding the arranged marriage altered Roman's thoughts. He surmises that Flora likely heard rumors about the perceived foolishness associated with the Dimitry family. Recognizing that public opinion might not reflect his true character, Roman expresses his desire to share his life with someone who judges him based on personal interactions. Therefore, Roman asserts his decision to break off the marriage, advocating for no changes to occur. In this moment, Roman's stance crystallizes, grounded in a newfound understanding shaped by personal connections and genuine sentiments.